This is John Boquette, Associate Editor with the Newtown Bee, and I'm pleased to be with First Selectman Dan Rosenthal and Newtown Health District Director Donna Culbert. I'm not as pleased that we are here with our 15th installment of our Newtown Bee COVID clips, video messages from our officials as the COVID-19 pandemic ramps up here in Newtown and across Connecticut. Late last week, Connecticut blew through its 100,000 case mark, and Newtown similarly blew through its 500 case mark. So let's start with First Selectman Dan Rosenthal. Dan, upcoming holidays keeping you up at night?
I think there's cause for concern. I think as you said, we're seeing, cases come back. I do long for the days of the summer where, we really weren't seeing the case growth that we're seeing now. What we do know is the growth is really coming from private social interactions. So it's not, community transmission through businesses and things like that we're not seeing. And I think that I firmly believe we can continue. There's an operating protocol. Folks have plastic up and they're doing all the things that are appropriate. It's really what's dragging us down is people getting together socially, and we're seeing it spread very quickly through families, and that's driving a lot of our case growth.
Donna, your office has been overwhelmed, and we do want to just remind our viewers that we are just removing our masks briefly out of courtesy for anybody who might be watching who might be hearing impaired. So your office has been deluged, as the governor has said on a couple of occasions, like trying to sip water out of a fire hose in recent weeks. Well over 100 new cases over the past 3 weeks, and that means well over 100 active cases, right?
That's correct. I mean, cases have really been on the rise in the last few weeks. I'm really looking at about between 8 and 10 new cases a day. Although many of them are multiple family members in the same household, but it really demonstrates how this virus is spreading. And so I want people to be really thinking about how they're spending their time, who they're spending their time with. Ideally, it's the people in their household, or when they're out, they're using all of the protective precautions that we've learned, I think, so well in the last many months.
Your jurisdiction, and especially Newtown, since your district also covers Bridgewater and Roxbury, you've been pretty lucky that the death count has remained static, and we hope it does. But we're hearing this incredible news this morning, approximately 1 death per minute across the country, the equivalent of a 9/11 attack every 3 to 4 days at this point. What are folks going to need to do to best protect the most vulnerable people who might be impacted by the spread of this virus that is transmitted by asymptomatic individuals who might just be visiting their home for a very brief hello?
Well, and that's what it's very important that people, wear their mask, watch their distance, don't visit those vulnerable people that are in our social circle, whether they're family members, friends, or neighbors, or find ways to be supportive and communicate either remotely, distantly, but being safe so that we're not transmitting virus, because those are the people that I'm worried about. All of the people in our community, but I'm particularly worried about those who may not fare well at all with this virus. I just want to share that I've spoken to literally hundreds of people now. There's a huge range of experience, whether it's asymptomatic, mild symptomatic, more severe symptoms, hospitalizations. So we really don't know how people are going to do in the short term or the long term. So we really want to be careful how we interact with folks.
And a quick word about participating and cooperating if contact trace texts or calls come in.
Absolutely. It's important to take the call. I know that sometimes people are concerned about sharing their information, but you hear from the health department, you know that your information is confidential. It's not shared. We're really just trying to make sure that we can support you if you need to be able, so that you can stay home safely. And whether you're isolating because you're a case or you're quarantining because you're a contact, we want to make sure that we can do everything we can to help you, and then we can help minimize or stop the spread.
Thank you. Dan Rosenthal, your final words for folks as we come into this holiday season, given the numbers. We know we hoped 14 was going to be the charm and we wouldn't have to do these COVID videos again. we were cautiously optimistic. It was not meant to be. Your parting thoughts for folks as we head into Thanksgiving week.
Well, one parting thought is, I do want to thank Donna Culbert and her staff in the health district. I mean, really since the beginning of March, that Donna's been going 7 days a week, and she's been a huge resource to me and to the community. And I do, I know that she treats everything with the utmost confidence. I really, I want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving and a safe one. So I know that, like all the holidays we've had this year, here's another one that, probably for nearly every family will be different, and people won't be able to get together the way that they always have. We're gonna have to tough this out a little longer, and we have to, I think, really take inventory of, our how we're socializing, and really try to keep that distance. And again, just to try to keep everybody safe and healthy. So I wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving, and hopefully we won't be doing many more of these, but I do thank the Newtown Bee for hosting us this morning.
Thank you. Dan Rosenthal, First Selectman of Newtown, and Donna Culbert of the Newtown Health District, which is also taking a lot of responsibility regionally because they're covering Bridgewater and Roxbury as well. I'm John Boquette, Associate Editor with the Newtown Bee, for this number 15 COVID clip, our interactive video with advice and information regarding the COVID pandemic. Thank you both.